Lightweight! Lightweight, baby!
Hey, how's it going? This is Danny from Made of Metal, also known as Britain's Strongest Drummer, and I'm coming to you with a competition preview. It's one of the big competitions in the calendar. England's Strongest Man under 80 kilograms, taking place on April the 23rd at Chaos Strength Gym in Preston. And it's shaping up to be the biggest competition yet. Last year we had a total of 24 athletes signed up and competing for that title of England's Strongest Man. This year we have 34 athletes, and of those athletes only one made the podium last year. So does that mean that things are opened up? Well, we're going to find out in this video. So in terms of the podium, from last year we have no Rich Molnar or Josh Lancaster. Rich Molnar is still rehabbing from that nasty injury he suffered at Britain's Strongest Man last year in that Max Stone over yoke. Josh Lancaster, he's been suffering with injuries since around that sort of time as well. So I think they're sitting this one out with their sights firmly set on Europe's Strongest Man taking place in August. We do have Tim Daglish returning to defend his title, one half of the world's strongest twins, and his brother Joe will also be there looking to improve upon his fourth place finish last year. We also have no Tommy Chivers by virtue of the fact that he won Britain's Strongest Man last year, thereby automatically qualifying for the 2023 competition, and possibly quite sensibly he's sitting out England's to come in nice and fresh for Britain's Strongest Man, because that is not a title he is going to want to give up easily. I think in terms of competitions for Tommy, Britain's Strongest Man will be his first competition since Britain's Strongest Man last year. Is that a wise move? Well, let's not forget that before England's Strongest Man last year, Tommy was out for 2 years from competing. So long breaks don't seem to make too much difference to the performance of this man. So we know he's going to be coming in strong, hungry, and looking to retain that title of Britain's Strongest Man. So let's have a quick run through of the events that are going to be awaiting these 34 men at England's Strongest Man. As has been the case in previous years, there will be a choice of weights on some of the events, and any reps done on a heavier weight will trump any number of reps done on the lighter weight. So if you're looking to make the podium, it's in your best interests to go hard, go heavy. So as is often the case in these competitions, we start off with an overhead event. There's no log this year, there's no axle this year. It's a circus dumbbell for reps, and the three weight options are 42 kilograms, 53 kilograms, and 64 kilograms. Moving on from that, we have an axle deadlift, 4 reps, standard height from the floor, suits allowed. 3 weight options with this event as well: 195 kilograms, 235 kilograms, and a whopping 275 kilograms. Then we have the grip strength test that is the farmer's walk. 110 kilograms per hand, walked 45 meters over 15 meter increments. That's 3 pickups. Competition's really fond of multiple pickups on these events. I can't remember the last time I personally was in a competition that was just there and back. Then we have this year's test of endurance. It is a yoke walk, 15 meters, 260 kilograms on your back. Run back to the start line, pick up a keg weighing 100 kilograms, walk that 15 meters, and then pick up the yoke, back, run back, get the keg, back and forth as many times as you can in 75 seconds. That's going to be brutal. Is it going to be worse than the max distance sandbag carry from last year? I think so. And then to finish off the competition this year, we have a sandbag load, presumably over a yoke or a bar or something. We have 3 weight options for this event. We have 100 kilograms, we have 120 kilograms, and 140 kilograms, presumably over 60 or 75 seconds. I'm going to opt for 75 seconds because I know England's Strongest Man doesn't like their athletes to walk away on their feet, just crawling, crying. Oh, it's going to be a fun day. So there's a nice set of events there, testing every facet of strength. We've got the overhead, we've got the deadlift, we've got the grip strength, we've got the endurance, we've got the loading. Who is going to come out on top? Well, the word stacked is bandied about all the time when it comes to competitions, strength competitions in particular. But looking through the list of names of the athletes that have entered this year, this is truly going to be one of the most competitive years. I can pick an easy top 10 and still be missing some names. There's going to be some lads watching this thinking, why didn't I get a mention? This lineup is so jam-packed with talent. It's really, really difficult to call. But we're going to go through some of the athletes that I'm expecting to do particularly well. Let's start off talking about Lewis Blackwood. Now, he did make Britain's Strongest Man last year, but it was just by the skin of his teeth. I think a lot of us going into that competition last year were expecting him to have a really easy ride and qualify, no problems whatsoever. But there were one or two events on the day that didn't really go his way. So I know he's been working so hard on ironing out any of those weaknesses. He's going to be coming back into this competition to make a statement, and he has been making a statement since Britain's Strongest Man last year. He did great at Brits, but his performance has been on the up ever since. He was at Clash in the UK back in December. Shame on me, overlooked him for a spot on the podium and he came second. He was so good on that day, so I'm expecting him to do really well at this competition. The deadlift for reps, it's going to be difficult to touch him. He's great overhead. He's really good at the farmers. I think he came first or second on the farmers at Clash in the UK. This is a good set of events for Lewis, so I'm tipping him to do really, really well. Another athlete that is returning to England's Strongest Man 2023 is Conor Cowans. Now, he qualified for Britain's Strongest Man last year and actually took an event win on the sandbag load into sled drag, and he also won the UK's Strongest Man. Now, he's not returning to that competition in 2023 to defend that UK's Strongest title, so that says to me that his eyes are firmly on England's Strongest Man and then Britain's Strongest Man. I'm expecting him to qualify for Britain's Strongest Man. I would not be surprised to see him on the podium at England's. A new name in the lineup for the competition this year is Sonny Nash. Now, his first strongman competition was less than 12 months ago, and he has already competed at the official strongman games, so he is sure to make a splash at England's Strongest Man this year and definitely be someone to look out for. However, could that relative competitive inexperience be any sort of hindrance in this fast-paced, intense one-day competition? We'll have to wait and see. And finally, we have to shine a spotlight on the world's strongest twins, Tim and Joe Daglish. I know it is a cop-out lumping these two together, but they competitively are so back and forth with each other. It's really difficult to predict who is going to take the edge in any given competition. For example, Tim won England's Strongest Man last year, but Joe came second at Britain's Strongest Man last year. But Tim still managed to set an Atlas Stone world record, so their performance is always so consistent. It's really difficult to not see one or both of them on the podium at England's Strongest Man this year. And as I mentioned, last year we had the epic return of Tommy Chivers, who went on to win Britain's Strongest Man last year. This year we have another big return. It's the return to national competition of Dan Ashcroft. His last Britain's Strongest Man was 2021. I think the last time he competed full stop was in America at Clash of the 80s last year. Now, Dan is a fantastic presser. He's a great deadlifter. Historically, grip has been one of his weaker events, but watching his training videos that he posts up on his social media, he's been working really, really, really hard to get that grip strength up, and it would be hard to bet against him. If not making the podium, certainly qualifying for Britain's Strongest Man. So a welcome addition to the lineup, and I can't wait to see how he performs. But the lineup for this year's England's Strongest Man is frankly ridiculous. We've got the likes of Matt Wally, who has been so consistent the past couple of years in these competitions. We've got Kieran Stevens, who won the Strongest Lightweights, an under 80 kilogram competition hosted by AL Fitness last year, and he is looking stronger and stronger than ever. We've got Craig Lawton, who was also at that Strongest under 80s competition, who was looking like a beast then and is looking even stronger now. Andrew Keys managed to bag a place at Britain's Strongest Man off the back of a very convincing event winner, England's Strongest Man last year on that max distance sandbag carry, but there isn't really an event like that this year. There's the yoke into keg, yes, but I think Andrew Keys really likes the pick up and go events. So will he be able to do it again this year? He's nothing if not consistent. He came third at Clash in the UK last year, so it's possible, but it's going to be tough. We've got new name Adam Rumney. His training videos have been looking really impressive. Honestly, anyone that is able to land within the top 15 on this competition, I think will truly be able to call themselves one of the strongest men in the country. There is so much talent at this competition, and that's just the names that I know. And so with all that being said, how do you do a prediction for this? How do you predict the podium for this competition? I've kind of backed myself into a corner because I have done predictions for competitions before. I've been doing okay, but this is different. This is, as I said, there are easily 10 names that could very easily be on that podium. I'm going to have to just go with my gut. I don't think I can do them in any order, and I'm totally going to cop out. One of the twins is going to be on the podium. No. I'll pick a side, and this is no disrespect to the other. Tim Daglish, Lewis Blackwood, Connor Cowans. Those are my three names. I don't know if they'll be in that order, but those are my three names. But again, we've got Joe Daglish, we've got Matt Wally, we've got Dan Ashcroft, we've got Thomas Hume, who is such an amazing overhead presser. We've got the new names, we've got Sonny Nash, we've got Adam Rumney, David Cairns, he's doing really, really well. He was there last year, he's been improving so much. Honestly, this is going to be such an intense and exciting day that I can't wait to be a part of it. And as for being a part of it, last year I walked away with a couple of regrets. I made one daft decision and one mistake on an event. No, that's not true. I completely screwed the pooch on the overhead. The bag toss was awful, and I dropped the farmer's handles. It wasn't the best day for me last year, so this year I'm hoping to just go in, make as few mistakes as possible, and as I say, if I can get within that top 15, that personally for me will be as good as making the podium. But with 34 guys there, 34, it's going to be a battle. I'm just going to go in, focus on myself, and just enjoy the day as much as you can enjoy these things, you know? So go on then, who have I overlooked? Who am I a complete moron for not predicting to be on that podium? I'm sure there are people seething watching this that I didn't pick their athlete, and I'm sure there are guys competing that are upset that I didn't give them a mention. But honestly, with 34 guys, there are so many people to go through. I'm looking forward to turning up on the day, being surprised, and walking away with a newfound respect for all of the guys that are competing. But yeah, that's going to do it for my preview of England's Strongest Man, under 80 kilograms 2023. I will be back soon after the competition with a review, and in between now and then, more lightweight news. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. I've been Danny from Made of Metal, aka Britain's strongest drummer, and I'll see you soon.